Okay, good evening, all of you. Am I audible?
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay, good evening, all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just wait, I am starting. Okay, so let's start. So we have discussed in our previous classes. This is the basically inverse jet transform method. Okay. Today morning we have to also discuss the starting the first method is the direct division method. So this is continuing. I share my whiteboard. My whiteboard is visible, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have discussed that is the inverse jet transform method. So you know that these are the basically four procedures. First method we have discussed that is the direct division method. Number two, computational method. And number third, that is the partial fraction expansion method. And number four, that is inversion integral method. So these four types of method we have to use it in our calculation of discrete control system for the inverse jet transform method. Okay. So first of all, we have to discuss that is the direct division method. So in previous classes we have discussed these are the basically pole zero functions. You know that. So using this pole zero function, each and every node we have to describe in the inverse jet transform method. So last classes we have discussed that is a function of the pole zero form, that is xz is equals to b0 z minus z1 z minus z2, that is z minus of z3 dot that is z minus zm, and that is also pole part, that is z minus p1 z minus p2 z minus p3 dot that is z minus p. You know that here p is basically used for the pole and z is basically for the zero point. So where that is PIS, where I means these are the different sampling time, that is the 1, 2, 3 that number of n are the poles, and these are the basically JA, and J is basically different, that is 1, 2, 3 dot m number of zeros are the zeros of the function. You know that is also xj. Okay, so each and every equation you have to know there are different types of functions are available. Okay, so these are the basically for the pole, the different pole, that is I equals to 1, 2, 3, n number of poles, and j, that is z, is the basically different number of zero. Okay. Next, so first we have to apply the direct division method. So number one, direct division method. So नाम से आप लोगों को पता चल गया दैट इज अ डिवीजन, कोई डिवीजन का प्रोग्राम, दैट इज अ डिवीजन का फंक्शन रहेगा. So in this direct division method, we have to obtain the inverse Z transform form from the function that is a x object into an infinite power series in Z inverse. And this method is used or useful when it is difficult to obtain the closed form expression for the inverse Z transform, or it is desired to find only the first several times. That is several terms. That means you know that there are the different value of different sampling period and different terms, that is the x of k. You know that where k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So these are the basically different sampling time. You know that. Okay. So this is the basically use, that is a application of the direct division method. Okay. So this xz, it is basically coming into the obtain for the inverse Z transform method for the xz into an infinite power series to the Z inverse. And this method, it is useful for when it is difficult to obtain the closed form expression for the inverse Z transform method. It is basically uses different several terms of x. So what is the basic mathematical form? That is the xz. You know that is the summation, limit is k tends to 0 to infinity for the one side of Z transform method, xkt or Z inverse. Okay. Now in this equation, you have to put different value, that is the k is equal to 0 to infinity. That means first you have to put k is equal to 0, then 1, then 2, and so on. Okay, so the equation is coming, that is the x of 0 plus x of t z inverse, then x of 2t z inverse 2 plus dot, this process is continue, that is x of kt z inverse. Okay, so these are the basically mathematical expression for the direct division method for the inverse Z transform. And these equations we have to also write this pattern also, that is xz, which is another, that is xz summation of k is equal to 0 to infinity x of t. These are same thing, x of kt or x of t. These are the same. So z inverse k. Now we have to put different value of k, that is also h0 plus x of 1, you know that x of 1 z inverse plus next is x of 2 z inverse 2 plus dot these are the same plus x of k z inverse. Okay, so this is the basically mathematical expression for the direct division method. So here this xkt and xk, these are the basically coefficient of the z inverse k. Okay, and the value of the xkt or xk, this is basically same for the k is equal to 0 to infinite. Okay, so this is the basically method of the direct division. Is it clear all of you? आप लोगों को क्वेश्चन ऐसे भी आ सकता है, राइट शॉर्ट नोट ऑन डायरेक्ट डिवीजन मेथड, और ऐसे भी आ सकता है राइट द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ द डायरेक्ट डिवीजन मेथड फॉर द इनवर्स ट्रांसफॉर्म. ओके, सो ऐसे क्वेश्चन आप लोग आए. ओके, सो go to the we take examples, then examples you have to clear the funda of idea. Now question is given, find xk, number 1, find xk for k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 when xj is given by, what is the functions of xz? This is the xz is equal to, you have to given 10z plus 5 divided by z minus 1 and z minus 0.2. ओके, सो ऐसे भी आप लोगों को क्वेश्चन दिया जा सकता है सेमेस्टर का एग्जाम में. सो फाइंड एक्स ऑफ के, what is the value of k? K is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The limit is the maximum limit is here, that is 4. When the function is given, that is 10z plus 5 by z minus 1 into z minus 0.2. Okay, so what have to do? So therefore, everyone please note down in your notebook. This problem is very, very important. So first, we have to write this equation for the ratio of the polynomials, that is a z inverse, because we have to solve for the inverse z transform method. So now, first, rewrite xj as a ratio of polynomial in z inverse. Okay, so now the equation is coming xj, this is equals to, you know that 10 z inverse plus 5 z inverse 2 divided by 1 minus 1.2 z inverse plus 0.2 z inverse 2. Okay, so these are the basically form for the polynomial functions for the inverse z transform. So the equation is changes here. You can see these are the basically changes in the for the inverse z transform method. Now you have to dividing rule. You have to apply the dividing rule. Okay, so first we have to apply direct division method, that is a dividing rule. So dividing the numerator by the denominator, we have, I'm writing in the next slide because division is the size of increases. So that is 1 minus 1.2. You know that is the denominator part, Z inverse plus 0.2 Z inverse 2. Okay, function is 10 Z inverse plus 5 Z inverse 2. Okay, so first you have to solve the dividing rule. So first you have to multiply the 10 for this equation, for the first term, that is the, we have to multiply 10 Z inverse. So 10 Z inverse into 1, the function is coming 10 Z inverse plus, okay sir, that is the, you have to multiply next 10 Z inverse into this one. Sorry, that is a minus and plus. You know that minus into plus, this is also minus 10 is coming. So this is the minus and the value is coming, I think 12 Z inverse 2. Then plus 0.2 Z inverse 2 into 10 Z inverse. Okay. So the value is coming, you know that 2 into Z to the power minus. Now you have to calculate, here you can see sign is changes, minus, plus, minus. So when the minus is coming, that means this is minus, this is plus, this is minus. So these are the basically cutting down. So now 12 plus 5, that means 17 Z to the power minus. These are the simple division, You have to learn in your algebra part in previous, that is first year, second year. Okay, so these are the rest of the term. This one. Now you have to multiply this one to the, that is plus 17 Z inverse. The first term it is also same, that is 7 Z inverse 2, sorry 17 Z inverse 2 minus, plus minus and minus, that is also 1.2 into 17, that is also coming 3.4. I am writing written here also. Okay, that is one term is coming 20.4 Z inverse minus 3 plus 3.4 Z inverse minus 2. Now same thing, the sign is changes, sign is also changes, and then this and this also cutting down. Same process it is continuing, that is also 18.4 Z inverse 3 minus 3.4 Z inverse 4. Okay, same process is continuing, that is plus 18.4 Z inverse 3 have to multiply. So these are the same thing is coming 4 Z inverse 3 minus 22.08 Z inverse minus 4 plus 3.68 Z to the power minus 5. Same thing, sign is changes, you know that this is cutting down, rest of the term, I think 18.68 Z to the power minus 4 minus 3.68 Z to the power minus 5. Okay, so now the last term we have to multiply plus 18.68 6, 8 z to the power minus 4. So the first term, you know that this is the same thing. Then minus a plus a minus. Then this is also coming 22.41 z inverse 5 plus 3.736 z inverse 6. Now the again same thing, sign is changes and these are negligible, that is a cutting down. So the result, whatever you have to come, you have to calculate it from here, minus plus r. So ये कब तक चलेगा? मोरल ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, ये कब तक चलेगा? देखो क्वेश्चन को अगर आप लोगों को फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन को पढ़ो, find xk for the value of k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the maximum. Okay, so that's why you have to calculate it up to the z inverse 4. ओके, सो ये प्रोसेस देखो, ये प्रोसेस मतलब कंटिन्यू हो जाएगा, मतलब ये एंड नहीं होगा, क्योंकि ये इनफाइनाइट रेंज में चलेगा. यू नो दैट because you have to calculate a mathematical expression for the direct division method, for the check transform method. Okay, now up to this part it is clear, all of you? Please respond me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the equation is coming, that is xj, this is equals to, answer is coming 10 to the power, sorry, this is the 10 z inverse plus 17 z inverse 2 plus 18.4 z inverse 3 plus 18.68 z inverse 4 plus dot 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 up to the infinite range. मतलब ये जो वैल्यू, ये वैल्यू, दिस आर द बेसिकली वैल्यू. ओके, ये वैल्यू हम यहाँ पे लिखे ये जो, so these are the basically functions. So by comparing this infinite series expansion of xj with x of z, this is the function, you know that is k is equal to 0 to infinity, function is xk z inverse 4. That means maximum terms you have to, k is equal to minus, that is a 4. So now we obtain, that is x equals to 0. That means these are the basically different value of the k. So we have to also written here also k, but maximum range is 4. You know that given the question. So x of 0, that is also 0. Then x of 1, this is 10. That is x of 3, that is also, sorry, x of 2, that is also 70. So these are the basically different value. X of 0 is 0. Then x of 1, that is 10, that is a constant term. Then x of 2, that is a 17. X of 3 is 18.4. That is the x of 3, this is the 18.4. Then x of 4, this is also 18.6. And so on. So this process is continuing up to the infinite. So you have to see this. This is the basically method of the direct division method, and you have to calculate the whatever you have to given the sequence up to the infinite range. So this method, it is basically uses for the direct division method for the inverse Z transform. Okay, is it clear, all of you?
सर फर्स्ट स्टेप फिर से बता दीजिए ना, जो इसमें फर्स्ट स्टेप किए थे ना.
श्योर. तो देखो मैं थोड़ा सा पहले से बोल रहा हूँ. तो आपको ये क्वेश्चन दिया गया है, द फाइंड द different of xk value. So xk is the range is 0 to, you have to give an infinite range, but here the highest part, that is the 4, and you have to give a function that is xz, which is equal to infinite. So first you have to write this equation, that is the xj, into the inverse z transform method. So we have to apply the direct division method, or we have to discuss in the previously. So you have to easily apply the inverse z transform method. So these are the basically numerator part, and this is the denominator part. So when you have to apply the direct division method, you have to direct multiply the numerator to the denominator. So easily you have to be divided for the simple rules, simple. So first you have to multiply. So you have to same to same figure, you have to match it first one. So that's why you have to multiply 1 into 10 to the power z inverse. So step by step you have to follow. Then it is cutting down. So you, whatever you have to go on, that is the maximum power of the inverse of z to the power -4. Because in your questions that you given, that is k is maximum for the 4. So that's why we have to solve up to the z inverse. Okay, so this process is very, that is continue up to the infinite. So then we have to consider here. So these are the basically functions for the inverse z transform method. For the k is the value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So this is the functions, that is the xz, that is equals to summation of k equals to 0 to infinity. This is the infinity. This is the infinity. You know that infinite, 0 to infinite means that is a one-sided transform method in the positive range. So this is the function xk of z inverse k. Yes, Millie, any questions, Millie? Otherwise, mute yourself. Okay. So this is the basically functions. So now we have to obtain the value, different thing, that is x of 0. So when you have to 0, you have to apply that the function is also 0, because here you can see first we have to consider z inverse, then z inverse 2. So and so on. So x of 1, this is the basically functions that the 10, x of 2, this is the 17, x of 3, this is the 18.4, and so on. So this process is done. Is it clear? This is the basically process for the direct division method for inverse z transform. Okay. So we go to next. Next examples. आपको ऐसे भी क्वेश्चन दिया जा सकता है. Find xk when xz is given by, function is given here, that is xz, this is equals to 1 by z plus 1. Okay, so आपको ये क्वेश्चन दिया गया है, आपको सॉल्व करना है for the inverse z transform. So now what I have to do? So this is the function xj, that is equals to 1 by z plus 1, and we have to change this equation into the inverse functions, that is the z inverse 1 plus z inverse. So this is the basically z transform method, and this is basically for the inverse z transform. Clear? Now you have to apply the dividing rule. So by dividing the numerator by the denominator, we obtain that means function is coming xz, that is equals to, that is z inverse 1 plus z inverse, that is coming z inverse minus z inverse 2 plus z inverse 3 minus z inverse 4 plus dot dot. This process is continuing up to the infinite. Here you can see the sign is also alternate. That is first positive, then negative, then positive, and so on. This process is continuing. So now we have to apply the dividing rules. So the equation is coming for the infinite series expansions for the functions of the x-ray. So by comparing this infinite series expansion of x-ray with, I am going to next page, with, we know that functions, that is xz, which is equals to summation of t is equal to 0 to infinity xk z inverse. Okay, so we obtain from these equations for the different value, that is x equals to 0, then x equals to 1, that is also 1, x equals to 2, that is also minus 1, and so on. This process is continuing. That is, again it is positive, then x4, this is equals to minus 4. So this process is, sorry, this is the basically dot dot. That is the x of n. This process is continuing. So this alternating signal, here you can see this is the alternating signal. This is the basically sign is changes, positive, negative, except the 0, that is the first one. So this is an alternating signal of 1 and minus 1, which starts from, that is k is equal to 1. Okay, so these are the basically processes. Just wait, I am coming 1 minute. Sorry for waiting. So these are the basically alternative signals for the changes. Okay, so one waveform is coming. I am drawing the waveform. So you have to basically the straight line for the value of that wave. This is the first 0, then 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. This is the different value of t. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first, that is the 1 positive ranges. Then number 2, this is the negative. Then again, it is also positive. Then again, this is negative. And here the power, that is the -1. This is the -2, and so on. So this is the basically the alternating signals. Alternating signal of 1 and -1 starting from t is equal to. Okay, so these simple types of problems it is coming in your example.
सर आउटपुट में भी डिस्क्रीट ही रहेगा.
Yes, discrete. Okay. So मैं एक प्रॉब्लम दे रहा हूँ आप लोगों को कॉम्प्लेक्स के लिए. इस नोट डाउन है. Example 3. Obtain the inverse Z transform of that is the xz function is given, that is 1 plus 2z inverse plus 3z inverse 2 plus 4z inverse 2. Okay, so we have to given this problem. Please everyone try in your rooms. And I think आप लोगों का पास तो मतलब बुक तो अवेलेबल है. I think अगर नहीं भी है तो ठीक है. जो मतलब प्रॉब्लम क्लास में चल रहा है कोई प्रैक्टिस करे. अगर जिसके पास किताब है वो मतलब बुक में देखो बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स है. ठीक है, इसको थोड़ा सा एक बार प्रैक्टिस कर लो तो थोड़ा सा मतलब आइडिया क्लियर हो जाएगा. Okay, so these are the basically for the direct division method. So next class we have to consider for the another method, that is the computational method. I am just short given. That is this computational method. Nowadays we have to use this computational method for the inverse Z transform. Okay, so this computational method, it is basically uses for the two process we have to obtain. That is the MATLAB approach and another one is the different situations. So using this MATLAB, you know that your simulation lab and your power electronics lab, power system lab, you have to easily design for any circuit. Okay, using the different component, that is a digital component or discrete component. Also you have to use this motor. Okay, so using this MATLAB approach and also defined equation approach, you have to easily examine the inverse Z transform. Okay, so next class we have to continue for the computational methods and another two also. Okay, so everyone please write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. And Saurabh is present. Saurabh, please take a screenshot. Okay. Please take a screenshot and after the class you have to send me. Everyone write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. So we will continue in the next topics in the next classes.